It starts quietly. You care about doing well, being liked, making the right choices. You care about how people see you, what they think, what they might say when you're not around. You care because you want to be enough. And that's where the weight begins. At first, it feels noble. Caring means you're thoughtful, responsible, maybe even admirable. But slowly, it turns into something heavier. You begin to carry expectations that aren't yours. You try to meet standards that were never meant for you. You start living for applause you may never hear. You wake up already behind. You scroll through your phone and feel like everyone else is ahead. You replay conversations wondering if you said the wrong thing. You overthink texts, outfits, decisions. You care so much it hurts. And the worst part? You think this is normal, but here's the truth. Caring too much is a trap. It's a slow erosion of your peace. It's the reason you feel anxious in rooms full of people. It's why you say yes when you mean no. It's why you feel exhausted even when you've done nothing wrong. The world tells you to care about your image, your success, your reputation, but it rarely tells you to care about your sanity, your joy, your freedom, and that's where things start to break. You begin to notice that the more you care, the less you feel like yourself. You become a version of you that's curated, filtered, and safe. You smile when you're tired. You agree when you're unsure. You shrink so others can feel comfortable. But what if you didn't? What if you stopped caring about being perfect? What if you let go of the need to be understood by everyone? What if you stopped chasing approval and started chasing peace? That shift doesn't happen overnight. It begins with a question. Who am I when I'm not trying to impress anyone? And when you ask that question, something stirs. Do you remember the version of you that laughed loudly, spoke freely, and didn't apologize for existing? You remember what it felt like to just be. That's the version of you that's waiting. Beneath the weight, beneath the pressure, beneath the expectations. And if you're still here, still watching, maybe you're ready to meet that version again. Before we go further, take a moment to subscribe to the channel. Not just because it helps us grow, but because this journey is one we're taking together. And if this message speaks to you, there's more ahead that you won't want to miss. Now, something interesting happens when you begin to let go. It's subtle at first. You stop explaining yourself so much. You stop apologizing for your boundaries. You stop needing everyone to agree with you. And then, without warning, you start to feel lighter. You start to feel lighter. Not because life suddenly got easier, but because you stopped gripping it so tightly. The moment you loosen your hold, something shifts. You realize that most of the pressure you felt wasn't coming from the world. It was coming from you. Letting go isn't dramatic. It's not a grand announcement or a bold rebellion. It's quiet. It's subtle. It's choosing not to reply to that message right away. It's walking away from a conversation that drains you. It's saying no without guilt. It's trusting that you don't need to explain yourself every time. And as you do this, you begin to notice something strange. The world doesn't fall apart. People don't vanish. Opportunities don't evaporate. In fact, things start to feel more aligned. You're no longer chasing approval, so you have energy to chase purpose. You're no longer trying to control everything, so you have space to breathe. Letting go is not the same as giving up. It's not apathy. It's not indifference. It's choosing peace over panic. It's choosing clarity over chaos. It's choosing yourself. You stop caring about being liked and you start caring about being free. You stop caring about being understood, and you start caring about being whole. You stop caring about being perfect, and you start caring about being real. And here's the magic: when you stop trying so hard, life starts trying for you. You meet people who see you, not the version you curated, but the one you forgot. You stumble into moments that feel effortless, not because you planned them, but because you allowed them. You begin to trust that what's meant for you won't need chasing. It will find you when you're still. This is the liberation of letting go. It's not a destination, it's a practice. You'll forget sometimes. You'll slip back into old habits. You'll care too much again. That's okay. The point isn't perfection. The point is awareness. And if you're still watching, still here, maybe this message is stirring something in you. Maybe you're ready to release what's been weighing you down. Maybe you're ready to stop gripping and start flowing. If this resonates with you, take a moment to subscribe to the channel. Not just to stay connected, but because this space is built for people like you. People who are ready to live lighter, deeper, and more freely. Your presence here means something. Let's keep going together. Now, as you begin to let go, something unexpected happens. You stop needing to prove yourself. You stop needing to be the smartest, the strongest, the most successful. You stop needing to win every argument, fix every problem, and carry every burden. You start to trust, not blindly but gently. You trust that you're allowed to rest. You trust that silence doesn't mean failure. You trust that your worth isn't tied to your productivity. And in that trust, you find power. You begin to move differently. You speak with less urgency and more intention. You listen without planning your reply. You show up without needing to be the center. You become a presence, not a performance. This is where the shift deepens. You're no longer reacting, you're responding. You're no longer chasing, you're attracting. You're no longer surviving, you're living. And just like that, you're ready for what comes next. You begin to move differently. Not because you've mastered some secret formula, but because you've stopped trying to force everything. The tension that once lived in your chest starts to dissolve. You're no longer sprinting toward a finish line that never existed. You're walking, breathing, noticing, and in that stillness, something remarkable happens. Life starts to meet you halfway. You're not chasing anymore. You're not begging for attention, validation, or certainty. You're showing up as you are, and that's enough. The people who resonate with you begin to appear. The opportunities that align with your values begin to surface. The noise fades and what's real gets louder. This is what flow feels like. It's not passive. It's not lazy. It's powerful. It's intentional. It's the result of choosing authenticity over performance, presence over pressure. You start to trust your instincts again. You say what you mean without rehearsing it in your head 100 times. You make decisions without needing everyone's approval. You stop asking, "Is this okay?" and start asking, "Is this true for me?" And the more you do this, the more life responds. You find yourself in conversations that energize you. You stumble into ideas that excite you. You take risks that feel aligned, not reckless. You're not trying to be impressive, you're trying to be honest. And that honesty becomes magnetic. People feel it. They sense the shift. You're no longer trying to be liked, you're trying to be real. You're no longer trying to fit in. You're trying to stand firm. You're no longer trying to be everything. You're trying to be yourself. And that's when everything begins to fall into place. Not because you planned it perfectly. Not because you hustled harder than everyone else. But because you stopped resisting. You stopped pretending. You stopped caring about the wrong things. You started listening to your body, to your intuition, to the quiet voice inside that always knew what you needed. And in that listening, you found rhythm. You wake up with less dread. You speak with more clarity. You move through your day with a sense of groundedness that used to feel impossible. You're not floating, you're rooted. This is the rise of authentic flow. It's not a peak moment, it's a way of being. It's the result of shedding layers that never belonged to you. It's the reward for choosing truth over performance. And it's available to you right now. You don't need to wait for permission. You don't need to earn it. You don't need to be perfect first. You just need to begin. Begin by asking what feels real. Begin by noticing what drains you. Begin by choosing what brings you peace. Because when you stop caring about the noise, you start hearing your own voice. And that voice will guide you. It will lead you to places you never imagined. It will introduce you to people who feel like home. It will help you build a life that feels like yours, not someone else's version of success. So keep walking, keep listening, keep letting